I've become so aware recently how toxic the Instagram culture of homesteading can be. This has nothing to do with actual homesteading, but just the world portrayed on social media of what homesteading looks like or should look like. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Teresa. I share all about simple living on our European farm, homesteading how-tos and recipes from scratch. Today I'll be talking about ways that you can truly thrive on your homestead without struggling and without the need to reach that unreachable Instagram ideal. If you stick around, I will also show you some practical ways that I do that in my life. One of those being simplifying as many things as I can, including our bathroom. But for now, let's talk a little bit more about the ways that you can thrive on your very realistic, not ideal homestead in 2025. Before we get into the video, I want to take a moment and tell you that I am making rye sourdough bread in the video right now. This is one of my most delicious recipes. I will link to the blog post with the entire recipe in the description box below so that you can try it yourself. If there's anything that you enjoy in today's video, please don't forget to hit that bell button so you never miss a new one. And if you haven't already, please make sure that you subscribe to help me keep the channel going. I would say an absolute minimum of people that homestead get to have a brand new shiny homestead that they designed from the bottom up. Most of us are piecing it together on the fly, really doing what we can, and mostly running that never-ending homesteading to-do list of more things that need to get done. But each of us really has what we have. Prime example of that is our bathroom. Let's take a look. In a video a few weeks back, I mentioned that I redid the organization in our bathroom and made it ultra minimalistic and was really pleased with the result. Some of you asked to see what this ultra minimalistic bathroom setup looks like, and so today I'm taking the opportunity to show you guys around our little tiny bathroom. Now I want to make a very important preface here. This is not going to be an Instagram bathroom tour. This is by no means an Instagram bathroom, and it's actually my least favorite room in the house. I am frustrated with our bathroom on the daily, and probably one of the only things curbing my frustration is the fact that I know that we are planning a complete rebuild of our little farmhouse. It is going to happen hopefully within the year, and so I'm fine to hang on to this little bathroom for a little bit longer. But on the flip side of that, I think that is perhaps the whole point of the little tiny tour that I'm going to give you today. Maybe many of you have a bathroom that you're not really happy with. Maybe it frustrates you the way it frustrates me. Maybe it's too small for your family, the way ours is, but you don't have anything else, right? So sometimes we have to work with what we've got and find the best way to work with it and find the best things about it, which is what I did with my little reorganization. Here is our little tiny bathroom. Now, I want to preface this by saying this hose that you're seeing over here is a recent addition. I definitely do not love it. We have a different setup for the new bathroom. This is for cloth diapers, which we are using for our little baby, and we need a sprayer to clean them. We haven't had one for a while. We cannot connect it the way we always used to connect it in the US, which is right to our toilet over here, but because everything is behind tile, it doesn't work. And so we got this external addition one. Once again, I don't love it. It's not as minimalistic in here now as it used to be when I first did my reorganization, but it serves a purpose. However, this hose aside, what you will notice is I keep nothing on the vanity and nothing on the sink. This was not always used to be the case. This shelf over here used to be full of my cosmetic products, my creams, toothpaste, toothbrushes, all of that. And I noticed that because this space is already so small and we already struggle to fit in here, it was so much more frustrating to have all of that around, and it was so much harder to clean. Now, with all of this free space, I can just come in and wipe it down, and literally bathroom cleaning takes me like 3 seconds. Where's all our stuff? I'm gonna show you that in just a moment. Same here, we used to have different things piled on here, and I just deleted all of it. I just kept one basket with toilet paper and some wipes and some baby items. Moved our towels into a tiny little rack here. One little box for kids' toys that they play with when they take a shower. Now, don't even get me started on this water heater situation. We've established I do not love this bathroom, but I am making the most of it. So let's take a look at where our stuff actually is and how we're able to have a bathroom that just is completely bare. Only real storage in here is this cupboard. Now, we keep this rubber band on here because of my baby. Otherwise, he comes along and just pulls everything out. Now, once again, this used to be a complete disaster. I really wish I had some before shots, which I do not, but I converted everything into this really simple 2 caddy system, his and hers. Everything we own in the bathroom for him and for me has to fit in our caddies. Now, this solutions a number of problems. Number one, everybody can keep theirs as messy or as organized as they like. So this one's my husband's. As you can see, he does not like to keep it organized, and that is totally fine because this is his space and I don't interfere with it. This one, as you can probably tell, is mine. I like to keep mine a lot more organized, even though not, you know, I would still like it more organized, but once again, he doesn't have to be frustrated with all of my products being all over the place, and I can do whatever I want inside mine. Here are just a few like toothbrushing things for the kids and all that. I keep spares of some items here, some sanitary products, and then I have a little tiny makeup bag. This is all of my makeup inside this one bag and some contacts, and that is pretty much it. So let me just show you how this works in practice. If I go in the evening and I'm washing up or whatever, I just take out my little caddy that already has everything in it. I put this on my face right away, and I just have everything that I might possibly need in here. You know, my hairbrush, my cream. I have it all like really neatly actually laid out, and I know where everything is. It's not like I have to dig through something to get to my stuff. I do whatever it is I need to do, put everything back, and just slide it in and close the door. Once again, this is nothing revolutionary, but I've never seen anything like this before. And the idea came to me when I once saw another minimalistic mom talking about how she keeps her bathroom all bare. But I think in that family, they had a number of different bathrooms. So the bathroom she was pointing out was just like their toilet or their guest bath or whatnot, or like their main bath downstairs where they didn't keep all of their products. So I don't actually know what their like master bath looks like. We don't have all of these bathrooms for the moment. We just have this one. But I was determined to make it work because I was so tired of the clutter, so tired of the difficulty in cleaning this space and just drowning in stuff. So I got rid of everything, and now we have a hard and fast rule. If it doesn't fit in the caddy, we can't get it so that we don't keep accumulating more and more stuff. So if I want a new cream, it first and foremost has to fit in my caddy. If it doesn't fit there, tough luck. Or I have to get something else out or use something up. So I really, really like having some parameters like this just to avoid accumulating so many items, which it's so easy to do nowadays. Just keep bringing in more and more, and before you know it, you are a slave to your things, and you spend so much time putting things away, cleaning things, wiping bottles, or you're paying somebody else to do it and then they're spending so much time doing it that I just realized it just doesn't even make any sense. Back to thriving on your homestead in 2025. Another example, similar to our bathroom, is my garden. I've been working on my garden for a couple of years now. We are following a permaculture design in which we want to build it out. It's probably a 3-year project. We're on year 2. And this year, I really decided that I would love my garden to look more pleasant, as well as yield a lot of delicious food for the entire family to eat. I've been working relentlessly on landscaping and beautifying the space. More on that coming in my video next week, by the way. So if you're interested in seeing what a realistic homesteading garden looks like, please make sure to hit that bell button so that you don't miss the new video. But I am always stunned, let's say, by the Instagram gardens that I look at, knowing how much work, time, money, and resources goes into not just the design and sourcing of all the materials, but then implementing it and keeping it up. Now, no shade on beautiful gardens. I think we should try and make any space that we have available to us as beautiful as we can. It's one of the greatest joys in my life to beautify spaces. But I also think that a lot of those images and reels set a completely unrealistic example to beginner homesteaders. And perhaps a lot of us beginners feel almost discouraged by that ideal that seems unreachable. And no matter how hard we try and how much we pour in, it just doesn't look as perfect as that $15,000 garden that somebody started completely from scratch, or actually had a company come in and just put it in for them. But if we stop and think about it, I would argue that this completely defies the essence of homesteading. Once again, let's make spaces beautiful, but homesteading is all about being self-reliable, working with what we have on hand, thriving where we're planted, and then mostly producing results, producing food for our families to eat, all while having fun, spending time outside, teaching our children valuable skills. If we just throw ridiculous amounts of money on something as simple as a garden, does that really accomplish those goals? Do our children really learn how to start a garden, how to tend to a garden? And mostly, do we ourselves even value it? A garden requires daily input of energy, whether it be watering or planting seeds like I'm doing in this video. There is constantly something else on your to-do list. The main purpose of that is, of course, the joy that it brings, the exercise that we get, like me over here hoeing endlessly in my garden. But last but not least, the produce that we get, all the delicious vegetables and fruit and other things for our family to eat. Now, if we don't have any skin in the game, maybe we just spent some money but we haven't really poured in, are we really that committed to keeping up the garden, and will our harvest be as bountiful as if we had done it ourselves? Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't hire help and get help. I, in previous years, have had help on the farm as well when I was pregnant and when I had a little teeny tiny baby, and it was amazing. But even for my example, I did feel that year, yes, I was pulled in many different directions, but because I was not the one pouring into my garden personally, I felt a little bit more disconnected. And so, just like in my bathroom example and my garden example, is my garden like the true dream garden that I would one day like to have? No, it's not. But I am working every single day to make it more that way, to bring me joy, and to fulfill all of those important things that I mentioned earlier. Teaching my children how to garden, growing delicious vegetables and other produce, keeping myself outside and happy. I think this is a thought that we can take into homesteading in general. Of course, let's implement all the systems. I have a whole video on that I will link here up above. And let's also simplify as much as we have. I also have a video on that We don't want to make our life more complicated or difficult than it has to be. But let's also thrive where we're planted. Let's take what we have, what we've been given, what we're working with, make it the best it can possibly be while serving the purpose that we need it to serve. It might not look the way other gardens look. It might not look the other way other bathrooms look. It might not be the latest Instagram shiny thing, but really in the grand scope of things, does that matter? And if you feel like that does matter to you, maybe this is an invitation to re-examine some of those beliefs for yourself. I recently changed a little bit how I do things over on Instagram so that I can shift my mind into producing content rather than consuming content. And yes, of course, I want to keep up with my friends and all of that, but Instagram for me at this stage of my life is primarily for producing content and reaching a goal. I have so much else going on. I have hardly any time to just sit and scroll. And this has helped me tremendously. Just focus on what's right in front of me, on my land, in my house, with my family, and not constantly feel that push to live up to somebody else's standard or think, wow, how did they accomplish this so fast? Or, how come they've got this beautiful of a garden set up after such short amount of time? I hope you found today's video inspiring, and that maybe you'll be able to take some of those larger principles with you to help you thrive on your homestead in 2025. If you have any other ways that you are personally thriving this year, please share them in the comments below with me. I would love to know what they are, and I would love to cheer you on. Thanks, and till next time.